Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Right down to the field we go on this frigid day in Nashville. Here's Pam Oliver.
Well, today I heard everything from okay to uneven as it relates to this field and the New Orleans Saints. A bunch of players told me they're going to go with those screw-in cleats over the molded ones. The molded one's just a little bit too slippery. Sean Payton doing something he hasn't done all season, and that is come in early so the team can take a look at this field. This is a relatively new field put down just 2.5 weeks ago. Joe?
All right, Pam, thank you. There is Sean Payton, who was off the crutches for the first time since the middle of October, when he was run into, to say the least, on the sideline in that game at Tampa Bay. And eventually here soon, he's given up the play calling duties, but he will take them back over as that high-powered offense, Troy, has been getting direction from Pete Carmichael Jr., the offensive coordinator, Sean Payton, and Drew Brees. Pretty good group that makes the decisions.
Yeah, Pete Carmichael, he's done an awfully good job as the play caller. I think with those weapons and Drew Brees as your quarterback, I'd like to think I could do a pretty good job calling plays too.
They've got something going, and they are the #1 offense across the NFL, averaging just under 450 yards per game, and Sproles has been a big part of it. And he has the most all-purpose yards this season around the NFL. What a great first year. And Drew Brees looks for him a lot out of the backfield, as well as his tight end Jimmy Graham. And that group of receivers. Barones will kick it away. And off we go in Nashville as the Saints will start at the 20. What, Troy Aikman, as we watch Drew Brees make his way out to the field, what makes this offense so tough to stop?
Well, where do you start? You know, in years past, it was just Drew Brees and their passing game. But this year, unlike a year ago, they've been awfully good running the football as well. So they have great balance, and they do both equally good.
We're going to try and get a report from the sideline as to what's going on with Jimmy Graham. He is not in the starting lineup today as John Gilmore gets the start at tight end. Good start on the ground, 10 yards right out of the gate from Pierre Thomas. We look at this defense, and they have had some injuries hit them. One of them has worked to their benefit. You see the group up front, but Troy, they really like their rookie middle linebacker, Colin McCarthy.
Yeah, defensive player of the week last week in that win over the Buffalo Bills, and he has, I don't want to say been a surprise, but he has certainly played well for him.
First throw of the day, Brees completes to his fullback, Jed Collins. And Drew Brees at the end of the play, after he got rid of it, took a hit, a completion of 4 yards.
Yeah, he gets thrown to the ground at the end of this play, and obviously when you're talking about a guy who is in as good a rhythm as Drew Brees is, you've got to be able to disrupt some of that timing. You think back to that loss that the Saints had against the St. Louis Rams. A big reason for that was the pressure that the Rams were able to get on him, and that's going to be a key for the Titans.
On second down, it's Pierre Thomas who slips with all that talk about the cleats and the footing. But how about Jimmy Graham? I mean, he's the top receiver in the NFC, and he is limping. Doesn't look like he's running very well as he comes in on 3rd down and 5, and he's the first tight end in franchise history with over 1,000 yards, and he's got 4 games to go. He did not do much during warm-ups. Brees hits Meacham, and Meacham has got a first down in midfield, and Jimmy Graham isn't running well at all. He was limping in the background while Meacham made that catch. And let's take a look at Jimmy Graham, who goes back to the huddle.
Yeah, you can tell by watching Jimmy Graham come off the line of scrimmage. Obviously, he's much faster than that. And so clearly the injury has something to do, whether it be with his knee, foot, ankle, something. is keeping him from running at full speed. It's obvious they'd like to be able to use him on passing downs, but if he can't run any more effectively than that, he's going to be very limited here this afternoon.
That's Henderson in motion, and the handoff to Ivory. And Ivory has plenty of room to run. He's got a first down at the Tennessee 25. Babineau on the stop with a run of 25 yards for a guy who's been inactive 3 weeks in a row.
Well, they block down there, and then you're going to see the fullback, Jed Collins, come through and clean it up with the linebacker, Will Witherspoon. And what a nice lane Chris Ivory has. He's 15, 20 yards downfield before anybody even gets near him.
Now Sproles in the backfield. And he gets it for the first time and shows his speed. He's got a first down inside the 15, knocked out near the 11, a run of 14 yards.
Well, each of these running backs, and this is kind of the way that they've been doing it throughout the season. Really the last few years, it's been a running game by committee with Sean Payton. Certainly the case this season, but already in the early going with Chris Ivory and Pierre Thomas, in the last run, Darren Sproles, all three running off some pretty nice runs here on this first possession.
On first down from the 11, pass is caught by Lance Moore, and he gets it down to the 9. Finnegan on the stop, and Mike Munchak is wondering how his group, with a record of 7-5, will slow down this Saints offense, and so far they haven't been able to do it at all on the ground. 2nd and 8. Graham is out there. Graham gets it. And Jimmy Graham, with his knees down and a flag down on the far side of the field, gets 7.
Even that route right there, Joe, it's pretty obvious that Jimmy Graham is not well. And Jerry Gray, the defensive coordinator, talked about jamming Jimmy Graham at the line of scrimmage. They did not on that last play. So even for a guy who cannot run, he was able to find a nice spot in that zone.
Offense number 74, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
So they get Jermon Bushrod, and that eliminates a 7-yard completion to Graham, who has emerged as this unbelievable weapon for Drew Brees.
Jermon Bushrod, the left tackle, who got called for the penalty.
Makes it 2nd and 14.
This is a real advantage, though, for Tennessee when you're talking about down here in the red zone and having a limited Jimmy Graham.
Pass caught by Sproles. And Sproles was wrestled to the ground after a gain of 8. Chris Hawkins out there made the stop. A rookie out of LSU, and now it's 3rd down and 6.
And you think about this Saints offense and the things that they've been able to do and the numbers that they've put up each week. A lot of attention certainly to Drew Brees, and rightfully so, but Darren Sproles, what a great pickup he was going into this season replacing Reggie Bush.
On 3rd down, Sproles, it's an incomplete pass, so a hold defensively for Tennessee, as the field goal unit will come on for the Saints, and it'll be a short field goal try for Casey.
Well, that's a nice job right there by Tennessee defensively. They're going to get their yards, the Saints are, but if you can keep them to field goals down here, that's going to sure help out that offense in not feeling like they've got to go out and match touchdown for touchdown.
25-yard try. Casey nails it. So not having a healthy Jimmy Graham, something we'll keep our eye on all day long, limits the Saints in the red zone as they come away with 3.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Good return game for the Titans. Mark Mariani is back after the 72-yard drive put together by the Saints. Mariani last year was a Pro Bowler as a punt returner. He waits for Morstead's kickoff. You don't return a lot against Morstead and the Saints. This one will be. Penalty flag flies as Mariani crosses the 20. And a player is down for Tennessee. That's Gerald McCrath.
Holding. Offense during the return, number 51. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout.
And it's McGrath that is guilty of the hold. So our first look at Matt Hasselbeck when we come back. Saints up 3.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
McGrath just now able to get off the field after being injured, committed a hold in his 3rd season out of Southern Miss, and then moves the ball back inside the 10, starting at the 9.
Hey, let's do this out of gun. We're going to do it out of gun, okay? We're going to do it out of gun. Here's the mic to go. Look for T. Look to go.
Hasselbeck in his first year with the Titans checks it down. A pass is caught by Johnson. So good on the ground, and now a catch and a run of 14 yards. Good start to the drive.
Sure is. Last year's leading receiver, Chris Johnson, and this is the type of things that they like to do with him, you know, in the passing game. He's not someone who's going to line up wide and run a lot of different routes, but they'll run the swing passes to him. He was an outlet receiver on that play, one-on-one outside. He's a tough one to get to the ground.
We talked to Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator of the Saints, and he talked about the violent cutback ability of Chris Johnson. He just showed it at the beginning of that 14-yard catch and run, and now he tries to cut back, and Will Smith is waiting for him. Vilma in on the stop as well, and a loss of 1.
Well, you can imagine that the New Orleans Saints, and in talking with Greg Williams coming into this game, knowing what Chris Johnson has done here in recent weeks, over 150 yards rushing last week against the Bills. The key to this offense is Chris Johnson, and they've got to be able to contain him. So they're committing an extra defender at the line of scrimmage. Right now, here he is. That's Roman Harper, 41. But they'll have that extra guy up around the line of scrimmage throughout the game.
They split Johnson out wide to the right, and that is Chris Johnson. Nice tackle is made out there by Malcolm Jenkins, the safety, a gain of just 2. And so now on 3rd down and 9, we look at this offensive line. They really miss Kenny Britt on the outside. Nate Washington playing with a bad ankle. He is a favorite target for number 8 on 3rd down. 3rd down and 9. That might be a quick and easy 5. It is for the Titans against the Saints.
Neutral zone infraction. 94 jumped into the neutral zone, causing an immediate reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's Mike Carey giving the announcement. That's Cameron Jordan guilty of the offside.
You know, it's interesting on that play. The New Orleans Saints defensively, even at 3rd and long, they went with 5 down defensive linemen in the game. Now, Matt Hasselbeck, as you would expect, a veteran quarterback, he knows that Greg Williams likes to bring different types of pressures, uses hard count to his advantage to make this a 3rd and 4 instead of a 3rd and 9.
Let's go.
Pass over the middle. There was contact and no flag. Jared Cook, the intended receiver. Jenkins got there early, but no flag.
Yeah, I did think he got there early. I thought that there should have been a penalty on this play. Contact made before the ball arrives, and I'm really surprised that none of the officials saw that. You can see it looks like they're trying to say maybe it was a bang-bang type play, but I think the Saints got away with one there.
So now Brett Kern will punt it. Darren Sproles so dangerous waiting for it for the Saints. Good punt. From inside the 20. What a move. How about Sproles? down the sideline. A flag is down. Sproles is into the end zone. Here's the call.
During the kick, holding by the receiving team, number 56. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
That's Jolon Dunbar guilty of a hold. And that eliminates what would have been an 82-yard punt return for a touchdown. Instead, Saints have it up 3.
Today's game is sponsored by the Ford F-150, the only truck available with EcoBoost. By K Jewelers, every kiss begins with K. And by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side.
What a huge call against the Saints. We've looked at it a number of times. They called 56, Jolon Dunbar. He wasn't even on the field. So that leaves us to sort through the replays and try and figure out who was guilty of that hold, which takes the ball back to the 10. Here's Ivory. Nothing. And back to the punt return.
Well, we're thinking the penalty was on 95. Martez Wilson right here in the middle. I think that's where the penalty was on, but then you got Brett Kern, the punter, who was the last line of defense, and he had the sideline, all that old Sammy sideline there. Sammy Sideline's never missed a tackle, but Brett Kern didn't use it to his advantage, and Sproles just ran right by him.
Now second down and 10. Pass is caught. That's Colston. Good for 7. We need to know more about Jimmy Graham. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Yeah, Joe, Jimmy Graham is having back spasms. He got treatment on the sideline. He got stretched out in the locker room before the game while his teammates were going through pregame warm-ups. He'll likely be limited the rest of the day if he can't get that back loose. I was watching him grimacing on the sideline and he was trying to stretch that thing out. Back to you.
All right, he's out there now on 3rd down and 3. Quick setup and throw, and it's a first down. Pass is caught by Graham, a gain of 5.
Well, you're not going to have much success on 3rd and short against the New Orleans Saints. You look at them coming into this game, and they lead the NFL converting 3rd downs. And, you know, Jimmy Graham, there's a lot of people at home right now that heard the report by Pam Oliver and having back spasms, and they know what that feels like. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people with back pain, certainly, but imagine trying to then come out and play in an NFL football game. He's giving it what he has.
On first down, Brees keeps it, sets up a screen for Thomas, and Pierre out of bounds at the 25. A gain of just 2.
You know, Jimmy Graham, I was looking forward to watching him play at full strength. I know the Tennessee Titans were not, but this guy has had a remarkable year, and a 3rd-round pick, only 1 year of football there at the University of Miami, a basketball player. And I remember last year when they picked him up, Sean Payton was saying then, in the years ahead, we'll look back on the 2010 draft and say he was the steal of the draft.
Here is Brees. There is the steal of the draft. Jimmy Graham on a catch. Good for 7. Let's go for a game break. Here's Kurt.
Minnesota's had the ball twice, fumbled, and an interception. So 2 turnovers turns into 2 touchdowns by the Lions. This from Matthew Stafford, 57 yards to Titus Young, turning all those turnovers into points. The Lions with their largest first-quarter lead of the season. 14-0. Joe, Troy, Pam.
All right, thanks, Kurt. And for Detroit, they have lost 5 of their last 7. Started out 5-0. 3rd down and 1. Ivory, first down. This is a Tennessee defense ranked number 18 in the NFL. Under the direction of Jerry Gray, who is a former Pro Bowl defensive back with the Rams and the Houston Oilers, played for the guy across the sideline from him. And Greg Williams learned a lot from him, and a lot of it is that kind of in your face, we're going to go hit people and let them know we're here, which was their idea against Drew Brees and Jimmy Graham here today. On first down, Brees. What a catch by the fullback Collins, but it's for a short gain of 1.
You go back to Jerry Gray and the influence that Greg Williams has had on him. Greg Williams is really the reason why Jerry Gray decided to get into coaching. He was telling us just the other day that when he retired from football, Greg Williams and then Floyd Reese with the Oilers at the time asked him if he wanted to be defensive quality control coach, and that's how he got his start. He's been around Greg Williams at various stops, and now he gets a chance to orchestrate this defense here in Tennessee.
It's 2nd down and 9. Delayed handoff. Sproles. He can get lost among all those big bodies. Takes it to the 40 and gets 4.
He's one of those guys, I think, that now you obviously recognize what he's capable of doing. An explosive player while he was with the San Diego Chargers. They did not want to lose him there in San Diego. But good things happen when he has the ball in his hands.
3rd down and 5. Brees. Pass is caught by Lance Moore for a 1st down.
It's just Lance Moore doing a good job of finding the hole within the zone. He hooks up. There wasn't really anything there. You're going to see as he comes off the ball, he turns there, nothing there. The linebacker, Colin McCarthy, working out towards him. He slides to the middle, gives Drew Brees a place to go with the ball, and they pick up the 1st down. It's nice as a quarterback when you have receivers who understand that, yeah, things draw up a certain way on the chalkboard, but when it's not there, sometimes you got to be a little creative, and Lance Moore was.
This drive started on the 10, play action. Brees down the middle and now over Jimmy Graham. I've been watching Graham come off the line, and he's been able to get off the line of scrimmage with nobody in his face. I don't know how a guy is not physically right and you're not hitting him when he comes off.
Well, not only that, but the fact that they talked about that being a point of emphasis coming into this game, that in order to slow him down, this was before they knew they had a back spasm. That's one way to slow him down. But to slow him down, bang him at the line of scrimmage. He's not been hit coming off the line of scrimmage yet today. And he's had good looks at the ball. Even that play, he was wide open. Drew Brees just missed him.
2nd and 10. Blitz. Out of the backfield, it's Sproles. So good in the open field, he's got a Saints 1st down.
Well, what we've seen on this drive, Joe, is the Titans have been good on 1st down. We've seen a lot of 2nd and longs from New Orleans, but they've been awfully good on 2nd down in picking up good yardage.
Offense number 17, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
They throw a flag at the end of that run by Sproles. They get Meacham, who was out there blocking, and it eliminates a 12-yard catch and run.
There's Meacham in the slot. Yeah, Cortland Finnegan. Cortland Finnegan's having himself another fine season this year as well. But now at least it's, you know, what can they do here? They've got to be good here on 2nd down and maintain a 3rd and long if they want to get off the field against this Saints offense.
Four-man rush. Brees nearly picked by Finnegan. He came off Meacham, and it's 3rd and 15.
Wasn't real sure where Drew was going with the ball on this one. Well, he's trying to go to the outside, but there was really nobody. There was nobody in the area at all, and so, you know, that was an opportunity for Tennessee to be able to make a play on that one, but Finnegan just unable to make the catch. But you know, we've seen now with the throw to Jimmy Graham and then that last one, Drew Brees, you know, just a little bit off.
Now 3rd down and 15. 3-man rush. Brees over the middle, hits Sproles, and he won't pick it up. The rookie Akeem Ayers made the stop, a gain of 9.
Yeah, so another good possession defensively by Tennessee, certainly aided by the offensive holding penalty on Robert Meacham after Sproles had picked up the 1st down. But those are the types of things that they're going to have to do. This is, as we know, an explosive offense from New Orleans, a lot of different weapons, a lot of places that Drew Brees can go with the ball. But to hold them to 3 points on the first 2 possessions, nice work.
A couple of big penalties on that drive First of all, the one that started on the punt return that eliminated a touchdown on a hold, and then another hold that erased a first down. Fair catch called by Mariani. And it's a 41-yard punt. Titans have it for the second time, down by 3. Mike Munchak has watched the Saints rack up 126 yards of offense, 7 first downs. They had the ball for just under 12 minutes of this first quarter, 4 costly penalties and 3 points. Here's Chris Johnson, been on a good roll, and that's the end of the quarter. Picks up 2. 3-0 game after 1. Back after this from your local Fox station. Look at the difference in time of possession, ball control in general, and the yardage. Just a 3-point game as the Titans have it at their own 13.
A lot of times you look at those numbers, and the New Orleans Saints will be up 2 scores, 2 touchdowns.
They split Chris Johnson out wide again. Pass caught by Washington. Bad ankle and all. Nate picks up a first down as he gets 12.
Natural pick on the outside man coverage, as you would expect by the New Orleans Saints. You're going to see Jabari Greer's in man coverage, and as they release the inside receiver up the field, it creates the separation then for Nate Washington. You mentioned that sprained ankle that he's playing with, did not practice all week long. On Friday when we saw him in practice, Joe, it did not look to me like he would even be able to play, but Matt Hasselbeck said no, he'll be out there, and we're game planning as though he'll play, and he's that type of guy, and just got his first catch of the game.
Everybody threw a flag. Who's it against?
Ball start. Offense number 54. 5-yard penalty is still first.
They get the center, Amano, who's playing with a bad knee. First down at 15.
Yeah, that offensive line overall, though, they've been fortunate here in Tennessee. They've been pretty healthy. It's a group that has played together now for a couple of years, but right tackle Dave Stewart, he's the only guy amongst those 5 starters that's missed any time, and he's only missed 1 game this year.
On first down, it's Chris Johnson over the right side. And a good play made by Jabari Greer. A gain of just 2, and Greer did not flinch.
It's a nice job by Jabari Greer coming off of the block and then being able to make a play. And as we've seen, you know, when Chris Johnson has the ball, he's going to attract a lot of gold helmets. There's a real commitment, and they've been able to do that here in the early going and not give Chris Johnson a lot of places to run.
Second down and 13. Hasselbeck with all day. Underneath finds Johnson. But he then draws a crowd as Dunbar makes the play, a gain of 6.
Chris Johnson's been pretty active, whether it's been running the football, but more so as a receiver on some of these checkdowns, taking away some of the things down the field. Hasselbeck with plenty of time in the pocket. But this is the big down right now for Tennessee. They started out last week's game not very good in the win against Buffalo, failed to convert on their first 7 attempts, and you know, they keep putting that defense out there. It's going to be hard for them to be able to hold up.
185. Hey, Ralph it. I'm listening. 185, go.
Third down and 7. Blitz. Hasselbeck incomplete. But a penalty flag is down where Hasselbeck went down. And it is a personal foul.
Yeah, and it
foul.
Should be.
Unnecessary roughness, roughing the quarterback. Defense number 41, helmet-to-helmet contact. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
See, Roman Harper is who they call. He comes on the blitz, and he's the one who got the helmet. There was contact, obviously. He was under duress in the pocket, but right at the end, when Roman Harper comes up right in his face, that's the helmet-to-helmet. You can see Sean Payton. You know, they talk to these defensive players over and over. You just can't hit a quarterback in that area. That's a big first down pickup for the Tennessee Titans.
And for the Saints, they've committed 5 penalties. 1 eliminated a touchdown. 1 killed their own drive. And this one extends the drive for the Titans as Ringer carries it, but it's a false start.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty is still first down.
You know, I know coming into this game and visiting with Matt Hasselbeck, he talked about how difficult it was to prepare as a quarterback against this defense and Greg Williams. He said he's a mad scientist, does a lot of unconventional things, the different looks. You expect to see certain things based on alignment of defenders, but Greg Williams kind of goes against a lot of those tendencies and will vacate areas, so it makes it hard. Having said that, Matt Hasselbeck said, I feel real good about our protections, and I recognize what it is they're trying to do.
Here's Ringer over the left side. Penalty flag flies again. A gain of 3 by Ringer, but a flag is on the field. And this has been a staggered start.
Holding offense number 64. 5-yard penalty is still first down.
Now they get Leroy Harris.
Hey, come on, Leroy.
Leroy Harris is the left guard. He pulled on the, or there he is right there, and he's got his left hand on the shoulder pads, and so a drive here after the penalty on the Saints to get the first down. And the Titans are going in the wrong direction.
Now it's 1st and 25. Pass is caught by Ringer. Javon Ringer with room to run. First down. Inside the Saints 45. But a flag is down back at the 30.
Clipping. Offense number 64. 15-yard penalty is still first down.
What you see is not what you get in this game. A big play. 25 yards is eliminated by a clip.
I think it's a good call, too. You know, Leroy Harris is right here on Will Smith, the hit in the back. Right here in the middle. And so Leroy Harris, he's arguing now the last 2 penalties on him, but both good calls. That was set up pretty nice, too. You know, they had offensive linemen out in front.
They're going to end up in the parking lot. It's 1st and 35. This one's in the air and somehow drops untouched. Sean Rogers got his hand up and knocked it into the air, and then down to the ground it went. Now a player is down. That's Hasselbeck for Tennessee.
You won't see that very often. A ball go up in the air like that high around the line of scrimmage, and nobody even was able to get a hand on the ball.
And Hasselbeck is banged up. Their 1st-round draft pick, Jake Locker, has had action in 3 games. And they're going to take a look at Hasselbeck. Odd start here in Nashville. So they look at the lower left leg of Matt Hasselbeck. And now we look at Jake Locker, who is in his 4th game of the season, the rookie. 1st-round pick out of Washington, hangs in, throws, completes. That's Hawkins. And Hawkins, who had a mile to go, gets 9. And we go back to the injury to Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, at the end of this play, after Sean Rogers tips the ball and it goes up in the air, Matt trying to go after it to knock it down is when he did something there to the left, whether it's the Achilles or his calf. But it was on the push-off, trying to then make a play on the ball that was batted in the air.
And now 3rd down and 26. Just a 4-man rush. Out of the backfield, it's Ringer to the 40. That's it. It's 4th down. Martez Wilson was in on the stop. Malcolm Jenkins was there, and they will continue to look at the left lower leg of Matt Hasselbeck. There were 4 Tennessee penalties on that drive, with Sproles waiting for the punt from Brett Kern.
Well, if nothing else, enough time has transpired to where the defense for Tennessee was able to get some rest, even though the Titans didn't really move the ball.
Fair catch. Hauled in at the 20. So up by 3. Drew Brees and that Saints offense back to work.
Today's game is sponsored by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. By the Droid Razor, thin is no longer frail, only at Verizon. And by the 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Not a good day for no shirt. It is chilly and not a good day to pull something in that calf, and that's where they're working the left leg of Matt Hasselbeck as the Saints have it for the 3rd time.
You know, the good thing, though, for him, I would anticipate him coming back into the game. With it being his left foot, he's not pushing off that right foot. Pushing off and planting with the right foot would affect the calf and be very painful. Not as bad with it being his left foot, or left calf, I should say.
They're going to shut this play down. Looked like it was against Tennessee. We'll get the call.
False start. Offense number 9. 5-yard penalty is still first.
So they get Drew Brees instead of the defender coming across. Brees doing too much under center.
Yeah, he looked like he rocked back a little bit. It looked like not only his head, but maybe even his whole body. Well, just enough. Yeah, and you saw the, you know, it's hard. They'll call the quarterback as they just did with Drew Brees. It's hard to, when you're trying to use hard count and use voice inflection, it's hard to do that and not move your head. But if you do, then the official certainly can blow it dead as he did.
Here's a toss to Ivory, running right, and a nice play is made off the edge by Werner. A loss of 2. Let's go for a game break. Here's Kurt.
Well, you've got a good second-year tight end in Jimmy Graham in your game, but this guy's not too bad either. Rob Gronkowski's 14th receiving touchdown of the year sets a brand new record for tight ends in NFL history. New England up 14-10 over the Redskins. Joe, I know Troy knows the value of a good tight end.
Yeah, name's Novacek.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
2nd down and 17. 9 to go in the half. Over the middle, broken up. Pass intended for the tight end Graham, and the guy getting his hand up was Babineau.
Well, and again, you're going to see Jimmy Graham free release off the line of scrimmage. You know, certainly the Titans know this is the most targeted receiver for the New Orleans Saints. Jimmy Graham is, and Babineau is able to slough off of his guy and get underneath and get a hand on the ball.
Again, you're surprised they're not hitting Jimmy Graham at the line of scrimmage.
Especially with that bad back. I think contact would only stir that thing up worse.
3rd down and 17. Brees. There's Graham, and he drops it. And in this 3-point game, the Titans about to get it back, and they should end up with decent field position.
Well, we came into this game talking about the Saints offensively and the numbers that they've put up. On pace coming into this game to set an NFL record on total yardage. Certainly Drew Brees on pace to break Dan Marino's single season record that's held up for 27 years. And this Tennessee defense, even though they gave up a lot of yards there in that first half, another good possession by them.
This is only the 19th 3-and-out for the Saints all year. Came in tied for the fewest in the NFL. Mariani from inside the 35. Out to the 43. 11-yard return, roll beyond the tackle. Here comes Jake Locker, the rookie, down by 3. Jake Locker, a tremendous athlete. He is a big-bodied quarterback. Played a pro-style offense for a couple of years in Washington in college. Had extensive work in the Atlanta game. A loss for the Titans. What a throw. Pass is caught by Stevens. And the best throw of the day belongs to Jake Locker, 32 yards to Craig Stevens.
Really an excellent throw by Locker. You're going to see Stevens. He's on the intermediate crossing route, and in order to complete this pass, he has to lay this ball perfectly over Will Herring, the linebacker, and he does just that. That's an excellent job of coming in, had time in the pocket, and just makes a beautiful throw.
Only Stevens' 7th catch of the season. And here are the Titans. Just outside the Saints 25. Handoff to Johnson. Nice play off the edge. Solid tackle by Roman Harper. And we go down to the field and Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, you saw them rubbing down Matt Hasselbeck's left calf. He is also wearing a compression sleeve now. You could tell he had every intention of returning with that calf strain, but he's listed as questionable. Running back Javon Ringer has a finger injury. He is getting x-rays and is probable. Back to you.
All right, so Ringer has a finger. Hasselbeck has a calf.
And you saw him working on his drop. Where he would not be effective is if he got in the game and he had to backpedal out from underneath center. That would create the most problems for him.
2nd down and 11. Johnson to the 25. So 3rd and long coming up. Jake Locker, who is, I mentioned, a good overall athlete. And the Angels actually control his rights in baseball until 2015.
Well, after Pujols, I don't know that they need him now.
He's an outfielder, so that's good news for Locker. He's not going to have to try and supplant Albert at first base.
Well, not easy duty coming in off the bench against an aggressive defensive coordinator like Greg Williams, but that's one of the things they like about Jake Locker. Say this guy is pretty poised, low-key guy. Things don't fluster him much.
Little pump fake out to the right. Chris Johnson delayed, and now one for the end zone. Incomplete. So close for Washington. He and Johnson came to the same spot. It's 4th down.
Yeah, and you ask, okay, well, why were they in the same spot? It's real simple, because it was a scramble drill. You've got Locker outside the pocket, and everybody's just trying to go to a spot to get open. Washington had a chance to make a play on this ball. He just didn't realize what was out in front of him. If he had of, then he could have come back to the ball a little bit and made a play prior to contact being made.
Yeah, what was out in front of him was more his teammate than it was Jabari Greer. Chris Johnson broke that one up, and now to tie it. High snap, and Barones drills it from 43. 3-3 game. Titans. Saints in Nashville.
Today's game is sponsored by Visa. More fans go with Visa.
Titans about to kick it back to the Saints, and for New Orleans trying to get their offense figured out and get on a roll. They've been able to rack up some yards, but not some points. 3-3 game. With Darren Sproles waiting for the kick. Sean Payton has to be wondering when Drew Brees and that offense will figure it out. He's happy to be off the crutches. 6.5 to go in the half. Brees has completed 12 balls, but only 1 for more than 10 yards.
Yeah, that's been the big thing that the Titans have done well. Limit the big plays down the field.
Here is Sproles from the end zone. Will take it out. They fake the reverse, and Sproles can't make the 20. Take a break, come back. Drew Brees onto the field in the sunshine on a cold day in Tennessee. Saints start at their 18. 3-3 game, and they start with it on the ground with Ivory. And last year's top rusher for the Saints picks up 4. The offensive leaders, these pictures of them, by the way, were taken on another day. As they're wearing different colored jerseys. Drew Brees has thrown for 68 yards. Sproles and then Jimmy Graham with 2 catches. That's it.
Well, Chris Ivory had the one big run, 20-plus yards, but outside of that, Titans have done a very good job not giving up big plays.
Here's Graham. Graham brought down immediately. Out on the edge. A gain of 2 as Chris Hope made the stop. It's 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, Chris Hope and the rest of these guys, I mean, there's been a lot of good tackling that we've seen from Tennessee here in this first half. You see Jimmy Graham catches it and goes right to the ground. We've seen that throughout this first half. Not many yards after the catch for the Saints.
3rd down and 4. Extra men on the rush, and this one right into the ground. Back-to-back 3 and outs, but a flag is down at the 33 in the secondary.
Illegal contact. Defense number 24, 5-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
They get Chris Hope.
They get Chris Hope, and it looked like it was on Jimmy Graham. They don't contact him at the line of scrimmage. They wait and contact him about 10 yards down the field, right at the top there. He's sitting on the route. He's anticipating that Jimmy Graham's just going to run to the sticks to pick up the 1st down and hook up. Instead, he's trying to get to the corner. He fools Hope, and he gets the penalty.
Here's Ivory. Nice cut. And a 1st down as Ivory, but a flag is down at the 28.
Offense number 45. 10-yard penalty is still 1st.
That's the fullback Jed Collins out in front of Chris Ivory.
Another nice gain for the New Orleans Saints coming back. Jed Collins right there is the contact that's made on Akeem Ayers, and well, they're calling it pretty tight. You know, a lot of times you see that type of stuff, they would never call that for holding. You can see Jed Collins, he's not believing it either, but Robert Meacham, the wide receiver, he did a nice job blocking on the outside.
Brees throws it right into the ground. Another flag is down. There was nothing there on the screen to Thomas. And now the officials will huddle up. With 5 minutes left in this half, another flag.
There is no foul on the play. All the action was illegal. 2nd down.
There's no penalty. They just get used to throwing flags.
Well, he tried to run the screen pass to Pierre Thomas, and Tennessee Titans, they saw it the entire way. They reacted very well. Just nowhere for Drew Brees to try to fit that ball in.
2nd down and 20. Ivory over the right side. Nothing out there. And a nice play by Hope again.
And you can sense this defense is getting more and more confident as this game goes along. You've got to believe that defensively, as I said, facing this offense, you know, there's some concern as to how you're going to hold up. But the more success you start to have, the more confidence you begin to have. This crowd's gotten into it.
Look at the difference in the numbers this season, indoors to outdoors on a chilly day. These Saints are 2-2 away from a protective roof. 3rd down and 19. Underneath, it's Thomas. 4th down. Just a 5-yard gain, and Ayers, the rookie, was there for the tackle.
Well, I know offensively for the Saints, you know, when you're accustomed to making big plays, you're accustomed to having success, it's easy for the offensive players to get frustrated, particularly the quarterback, Drew Brees, and that's what he's got to guard against. A nice job recognizing it's not there. Don't force anything. Come underneath and be patient.
Morstead hits it. It was nearly blocked. Mariani from about the 21. Breaks a couple of tackles out to the 29. This was supposed to be a transitional year for these Titans. They're 7-5. Big game today, tied with the Saints. Take a look at the playoff picture and why today is so big for Tennessee. You see the division leaders. Right now, Cincinnati and Baltimore, the wild card leaders. Pittsburgh's a game in front in the North because of that game on Thursday night. But there's Tennessee right there locked up with Oakland, the Jets, Cincinnati at 7-5. Mike Reinfeldt, the GM in this front office, had a great draft. Mike Munchak in his first year as head coach, and as I said, this was supposed to be a transitional year, but you get a win today, you go to 8-5, you knock off the Saints, you look at the schedule, they'd be in a good position. Locker, the rookie, bounces it in the direction of Damian Williams.
No, I think you're right on all those accounts, Joe. I mean, you look at the season that Tennessee has had in the last couple of weeks to stay alive in this whole playoff picture. They've needed to win. They've had their backs against the wall, and they've been able to do that. And it's a team that through that process has really gained some confidence. And, you know, a lot of changes for this Tennessee organization. Jeff Fisher been around a long time around here. And then offensive coordinator, new Chris Palmer, new offensive line coach. But they've come together well here in recent weeks.
17 seasons Fisher was here, and Locker got out of trouble and got rid of the football in the direction of Craig Stevens, who has a 32-yard catch in this game, and now it's 3rd down and 10, and the Saints trying to get something going defensively.
Seeing Roman Harper very active in this game, up around the line of scrimmage and bringing the blitzes, and whatever Greg Williams had anticipated as far as his pressure packages, they've just taken priority against a young quarterback.
Now 3rd and 10. Movement, it'll be 3rd and 15.
Call start. Offense number 71, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
They get the big left tackle again. One guy that this coaching staff is proud of a lot. The young quarterback coach that Matt Hasselbeck talked to us about, Dowell Loggins, who has really been a nice confidant for Matt Hasselbeck and now has tried to tutor the rookie Jake Locker, and it's all on number 10 right now.
And I'm glad somebody introduced me to him in the hall the other day, because I would not have taken him for a coach on that staff. He is a young, I don't know how old he is, but he looks a lot younger than he is.
Because we're getting older. 3rd down and 15. Underneath it's Johnson, a lot of room to go, and he won't get the 1st down. Nice play made by Junior Gillette. Tracy Porter was in on the stop as well, and a timeout is taken by the Saints. Stop the clock with 3 minutes 15 seconds left. That's their first timeout. About to get it back. This January, Fox returns to the Octagon with an incredible UFC Fight Night triple header. Some of the UFC's best fighters will battle for a shot at the title, headlined by former light heavyweight champion Rashad Evans and undefeated Phil Davis, plus 2 explosive middleweight bouts. UFC Fight Night on Fox, triple header live from Chicago on Saturday, January 28th at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. By that time, we'll know who will be representing the AFC and the NFC in Super Bowl 46. Saints won it all in 2009. Packers, the undefeated Packers, won it all last year. They play later today at home against the Raiders. From inside the 20, Sproles got a nice block. Unbelievably, there are no flags. And after the 48-yard punt, the Saints will start across their own 30. So, Mr. Aikman, what have we seen so far here this afternoon?
Well, I think if you're Tennessee, you got to feel really good about this. I mean, as we said, they've given up the yardage there in the first quarter, but the last couple of possessions defensively, they've been awfully good. I'm a little surprised Tennessee hasn't run the ball better than they have. As I said, you know, defensively for the Saints, they've really struggled. One of the worst defenses against the run in all of football, yet they've bottled up Chris Johnson very well.
Yeah, he only has 5 carries for 5 yards.
Tell you what Sean Payton's mindset is, though, calling that timeout with 3.5 minutes to play.
Here's Sproles out of the backfield and a lot of room. Out across midfield into Tennessee territory. Griffin on the stop with a catch and run of 21 yards. And now the Saints have plenty of time. The clock is not a factor at all. They have a tough time setting the ball down, so they restart the play clock. On first down, Colston to the 41. And they can, like we've seen with the Packers, get down the field awfully fast.
Well, as good as they've run the ball, still their passing game in a lot of ways is a ball control style of passing.
Underneath, and there's another one for Sproles. Really nothing down the field, but a flag is thrown back at midfield.
Holding offense number 74. 10-yard penalty is still second down.
That's Bushrod, and that eliminates a 19-yard play to Darren Sproles.
That's a couple big plays now to Darren Sproles that have been called back because of penalties, and so you're looking at a second and short. Here's Jermon Bushrod, number 74, who it was called on at the very end. I mean, there was a whole lot there. You got him going to the ground, but yet they get Bushrod for the penalty.
It'll be second down and 12 at midfield when we come back. 2-minute warning. There have already been 15 penalties called in this first half. 16 is the most and a half this season. That last one on Bushrod, there wasn't much there. On second down the field for Moore. Incomplete. Tried to make an adjustment on it at the 15, covered by Chris Hawkins, the rookie.
And Lance Moore, he had a step on him. Brees gets to him late. But you see right there, the out route, Hawkins starts to jump it. He was beaten, but the ball being underthrown, Lance Moore trying to come back and make a play, and Hawkins gets his hands on it just in time.
Now third down. Three-man rush. Brees fires a fastball for a first down to Marcus Colston.
Yeah, that's the thing you have to weigh if you're defensive coordinator Jerry Gray. You know, do you bring pressure and expose your defensive backs, or do you try to play coverage? Three-man rush, plenty of time for Brees to pick it apart.
Now on first down, over the middle, wide open Graham. Jimmy Graham, bad back and all, down to the 5.
I'm not believing what I've watched here in the first half by Tennessee defensively as far as how they're playing Jimmy Graham. They have not touched him coming off the line of scrimmage one time that I've seen.
Here are the last two catches. The first one by Colston.
Well, here's the three-man rush, and so you see the pocket that's provided for Drew Brees. Just a really pretty easy pitch and catch there for the first down. And this is the last play to Jimmy Graham. Free release off the line of scrimmage. Nobody touches him. He runs into the seam against that zone. And as long as they're playing that coverage and he's getting releases like that, Drew Brees will pick that apart all day.
That is a 33-yard completion. Longest play of the day. Tennessee takes a timeout with 1:11 left in the half. It'll be first and goal from the 5. Graham goes to the sideline.
You'd like to think that that back is loosening up for Jimmy Graham, but just watching him, I mean, he ran pretty well on that last reception, but he still looks like he's laboring, you know, with that back. Yet the Titans have not contested anything he's done coming off the ball.
Not been physical with him at all. Brees is looking for Sproles, not there. Now Brees is brought to the ground by Klug. And he leads this team, the rookie does. That's sack number 5. Part of that great draft class from 2011.
Well, they want to throw it to Sproles, but the linebacker takes it away at the last minute. So Brees has to get off of that. And then you get the pressure on the backside by Klug that gets him to the ground. You can see good man-to-man coverage there. by the Tennessee Titans.
Klug finally got there, a loss of 7. Sack number 5, and it's 2nd and goal with the ball back outside the 10 at the 12. You think about this draft with Casey, who they like, Ayers, McCarthy, who's taken over in the middle, Jake Locker, their quarterback they got in the first round. 2nd and goal. They fake it. Sproles knocked down immediately. And it was Burner who made the play.
That's a nice job. Altron Burner, he's getting his opportunity to play because of the injury to Jason McCourty. And we've seen a couple times now him come up and make a tackle like that. Not easy to do. Sproles never got turned around and was able to then use his speed and quickness to get up the field, but Burner was right there.
McCourty out with a concussion. Burner gets the start. 3rd down and goal. And the Saints will use a timeout. And that's their final timeout of the half. Coming up, it's the Visa halftime report. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy talk about the Patriots in D.C. The Jets are playing Kansas City. And a lot of important scores and games happening here in Week 14.
Well, you look at this Tennessee defense here in this first half, and they've been good, you know, as far as not giving up points for the most part throughout this season. And, you know, to give up the yards that they've given up, and on this drive to potentially hold the Saints to a field goal, and if they're able to go in at halftime down just 6-3, I feel awfully good about that. This is the Saints offense averaging 32 points a game coming into this game.
This is the best 3rd down offense in the NFL. Today 5 for 9. It's 3rd and goal. Three-man rush. Brees, end zone incomplete for Lance Moore.
It was a well-thrown ball by Drew Brees, too. Lance Moore, he's going to get a free release off the line of scrimmage as well. He starts like he's going to go to the middle. He comes back out of it, and that ball was perfectly thrown by Drew Brees. Chris Hope was the guy trying to make a play on it, but that's a ball Lance Moore needs to catch.
29-yard try by Casey. Saints have been inside the red zone twice. And they have 2 field goals barely. That one just sneaks in. And the Saints have a 3-point lead with only 15 seconds left in the half. We look ahead to next week and the games on the NFL on Fox. Redskins at the Giants will be there. These Saints will be at the Vikings. Packers at the Chiefs. Will they still be undefeated? They play later today against Oakland. Late game, Detroit and those Raiders. And that starts with a Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show beginning at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Well, you see Drew Brees right here on the sidelines, and that's a frustrated quarterback right there. And that goes back to what I said. I mean, Drew Brees has had so much success. This offense has had so much success, not just this year, but over the last several years. And it's hard sometimes in this type of game when you're not capitalizing on some of the plays that you have available to you. We've seen Sproles, big plays, ball comes back because of penalty. But to only score 2 field goals here in the first 30 minutes of this game, that then starts to take a toll on really the mindset of a quarterback and how they then approach things in the second half of this game.
Morstead leads the league in touchbacks, with Mariani waiting deep. Line drive. Mariani from about the 1 out to the 20. That's it. Well covered. Courtney Roby, who was one of their special teams aces downfield, to make the stop, and now just 9 seconds remain. This will be a 6-3 game at the half. Nothing to be done for Jake Locker, who took over after Hasselbeck left with a left calf injury. It's going to be up to Locker, the rookie, in the second half, it appears. if the Titans are going to get a win here at home and beat the Saints. It is a 6-3 game. Saints on top at the half. Visa halftime is coming up. We'll hand it right off. Kurt and the guys, it's all yours. Some pretty good tackling. We've seen a ton of penalties and not many points. Total of 9. The Saints have 6 of them. You can follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Morstead will kick it away. That means the Titans. Mariani back in. We'll start with a football. Jake Locker, the rookie. First round pick out of Washington. Try to do something about the 3-point deficit. Mariani wants to take it. He fakes a throw across the field and has a decent return out across the 25. Let's go down to Pam. Pam.
Well, I brought the topic of the defensive strategy of the Titans on Jimmy Graham, and Mike Munchak said, you know, I'm going to talk to Jerry about it, but he basically deflected the whole thing. He said he's thrilled to go into the half with the score tied at 6, or the score 6-3. Meantime, speaking to Sean Payton, he said offensively, you know what, those are drive killers, those penalties. We have got to stop that. He said as for Graham, he considers him to be 100% at this point. Back to you.
All right, so maybe that back is starting to loosen up from the 26. Here's Johnson. Titans have got to get him going. It's a good start. His best of the day. Harper on the tackle, a run of 9 yards. See how generous they are, and it is a 9-yard run, 2nd down and 1. Take a look at the halftime stats, and not much on the ground from Chris Johnson. The total yards not that bad for the Saints, but only 6 points.
No, really good. You know, 200 yards and a half is a lot of production offensively. Chris Johnson just 5 yards rushing in that first half on 5 carries. That was the first time they were really able to get him out on the edge.
4 yards rushing for the team in the first half, and that first carry was for 9. This one's for a first down. Johnson gets 2. Dunbar on the tackle.
Well, you're going to see the way that the Saints swarm to the football. They bring in the extra guy, but he's over here. And so a lot of times when you start talking about, you know, okay, well, who's the extra defender down in there, and you know, how do you put a man on him? They also have Roman Harper up on that opposite side, but they're certainly flowing to the ball and corralling Chris Johnson when he gets it. They've done a nice job, but every team that plays Tennessee knows that he's going to get the ball, and yet they've been able to create some seams. Not so today.
Quick setup and throw, and it's too low for Nate Washington. Daniel Graham was out there as well. When you talk about 8 men in a box, as Hasselbeck left about 11 minutes into this game, Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator of the Saints, said Chris Johnson can basically block the unblocked guy because of the way he can cut back and make people miss. So you do that at your own risk. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, the whole key is to be able to get on him before he gets going. And they've been able to bottle him up other than the one run to start this second half.
Locker setting up quick. Hits Hawkins. Makes a move, and he's inside Saints territory with a Titans first down.
And Lavelle Hawkins, he's able to make the catch, but he's well short of the first down. Tracy Porter, he just is over aggressive to come up and try to make the tackle. Hawkins makes him miss, and first down Tennessee. And you know, they need to get something going offensively. You know, their defense has done a good job. We talk about the penalties and how those have killed a lot of these Saints opportunities, but to hold the Saints to 6 points, however it happened, a good job on their part.
15 yards for Hawkins. On first down, trying to get that running game going. Johnson a little better here at the start of the second half, gets 4. Will Smith on the tackle for the Saints. Second down and 6. Mike Munchak watching his rookie quarterback try and figure out the Saints, who come in ranked 27th in the NFL defensively. Fake it to Johnson. Rolling to his right, pass incomplete for Hawkins. And it's third down.
A bad throw there by Jake Locker. I mean, he's got to get that out on the sideline. They had an opportunity to make that play, but there's no question that Greg Williams, down after down, is committed to not letting Chris Johnson beat them. And so with that in mind, you're going to get a lot of opportunities on the outside, and it's just a matter of, one, the receiver waiting on the route, and then Jake Locker delivering a good throw.
Third down and 6. Titans 0 for 4 on third down so far. Floated. Williams now 0 for 5 on third down. Robinson in coverage, and he was back there with Isa Abdul-Kadus.
There's a little confusion in the secondary as to who had who. You see Locker's just a little short on that throw because Williams had Robinson beat up that sideline had he have been able to lay it down the field a little bit more.
And now Kern will try and pin the Saints down inside their own 10. Over the head of Sproles. Penalty flag is down. Sproles into the end zone, but a flag is down at the 42. Actually, 2 flags down in a game filled with penalties. And try and sort it out. The Saints are about to take over, up by 3. It's a 44-yard punt that went into the end zone.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both of them by the receiving team, both of them holding. 45 and 58. 58 is declined. 45 will be enforced from the touchback spot, 10 yards, 1st and 10 on the 10-yard line.
There you go, starting at their 10. We'll take a timeout where Drew Brees will begin, up by 3.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the all-new Volkswagen Passat 2012 Motor Trend Car of the Year. By Rise of the Planet of the Apes on Blu-ray and DVD in 2 days. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
That is the new Country Music Hall of Fame located in downtown Nashville. Ending up on our buddy George Strait as the pass is caught by Pierre Thomas, and he fights his way to the 16-yard line. A gain of 6. Ayers on the stop.
We talked a little bit earlier in the game, kind of the mechanics that the New Orleans Saints are going through because of the injury to Sean Payton earlier in the season. And you know, right there, I don't know who he's communicating with, but he's got the playlist in his hand, and you know, Sean may in fact be calling the plays right now. I mean, that's not something that was anticipated coming into this game, but it sure looks like it over there on the sidelines. If that's the case, this would be the first time he's called plays since he injured his knee.
Which happened in middle October at Tampa Bay. Ivory ran into a wall.
Because prior, Joe, the way it works on the sidelines for the Saints is whoever the play caller is, he's communicating the play then directly to Drew Brees. There's no third party involved. And when Carmichael is calling the plays, he's the one talking immediately to Drew Brees. But you can see he's not talking to anybody. So I don't know exactly when that took place, but certainly here in this second half, Sean Payton looks to be the guy making the calls.
Brees adds to his NFL record. Got 20 completions on the day, now 21. And he's got a first down as Colston makes the catch, good for 4. As you said, this is like a great running offense because it's just Dinkin and Duncan moving their way down the field. Very controlled passing game for Drew Brees.
Yeah, and he makes such good decisions that there's a lot of situations to where you may be a little hesitant to be aggressive, but you can make those calls with Drew Brees because you know he's going to protect the football.
Here is Ivory. On first down, Ivory gets 2.
You know, and to follow up with that, with regards to Sean Payton, you know, they have had success moving the ball clearly when he was not calling the plays, and he said it afforded him the opportunity to kind of oversee and manage the other parts of the game. Special teams certainly more involved than on the defensive side of the ball, and you wonder if then you're going to get away from calling plays in the future, but he anticipated saying that, no, play calling is something I do well and something I'll continue to do.
Second down and 8. Colston trying to get hot. He's got a first down catch out across the 30. This is the 6th Saints possession of the game. 5 of them have started at their 20 or inside the 20, as this one did at the 10.
But if nothing else, at least what Tennessee is doing defensively is making the Saints put together good plays. You know, we haven't seen the 40, 50-yard pass play down the field that sets up points and oftentimes touchdowns for the Saints offense.
They fake a throw to Sproles, and what a good play made on Pierre Thomas by Griffin. The free safety came up, made a stop, and a loss of 3.
Yeah, the last couple of times we've seen the Saints try to go with the screen pass. Tennessee has been there to snuff it out.
Loss of 2. 2nd and 12 at the 32-yard line.
See Michael Griffin, they're just not, the offensive line, they just don't have a chance. Michael Griffin recognizes it. He's there to make a play before any of the uncovered offensive linemen are able to get a block.
On second down and 13, here's Sproles. He hesitates. He gets it out near the 35, a gain of 4. Finnegan, who was always around the ball, is in on the tackle.
Cortland Finnegan, I mean, 7th round pick, and what a career he has had, and he's been asked to do a little bit more in the defense this year on third downs, which is what we're facing here. Jerry Gray's been using him more as the nickel corner, playing that slot receiver, a very important part of any nickel defense.
Third down and 9. Blitz coming. Saints pick it up. Wide open Henderson. And Debris Henderson has a first down at the Tennessee 46. 19 yards to number 19.
Watch Pierre Thomas here and the job that he does, picking up the blitz off the corner. He protects Drew Brees' backside, and then you've got a free running receiver in Debris Henderson, really uncontested.
He becomes the 8th different receiver Drew Brees has found today. Picks up the 14th first down for the Saints. Drive started at the 10. Ivory gets nothing. Second down and 10. Talking to defensive coordinator Jerry Gray, said these Saints make you defend the entire field. They are such a challenge for any defense. There's their rookie middle linebacker Colin McCarthy. One of the Titans is down. One of Jerry Gray's guys. We'll take a break. Come back after this. Pick out of UCLA. Akeem Ayers got up and walked off the field. They look at him on the sideline. Second down and 10. This is the 10th play of this drive. Coming up for the Saints, 6 possessions have been at least 9-play drives. See if they put it up. They will. Brees was bothered as he threw it. Penalty flag flies as Pierre Thomas has a first down inside the 25, but a flag is down. And it's a hold against Tennessee. The play will stand.
Well, they finally jammed on Jimmy
Before
Graham.
the pass, holding defense number 98 is declined. The play results in a first down.
That's against Dave Ball. Here's Graham.
Yeah, it's Graham trying to get off the line of scrimmage, and that's the hold that they called on Dave Ball, 98, defensive end. After they got the hold on him, and you see Jimmy Graham, he's expecting the flag. Had Drew Brees have hung with him, They turned him loose after they jammed him at the line of scrimmage. After they held him at the line of scrimmage, I should say.
Ball is across from him again. Sproles breaks loose. Down to the 10 with a first down for the Saints. Finnegan on the tackle, a run of 13 yards.
Well, right tackle Zach Strief does an excellent job blocking the point right here. You can see the job that he does, and Sproles is an explosive back, and he doesn't need a lot. That's a lot more than he really needs, and he gets into that hole, and then he's up on the secondary. It's just an excellent job of execution by that offensive line.
Saints are number 8 in the red zone coming in. Scoring touchdowns inside this area at 56% of the time. Here's Pierre Thomas. They've been in now 3 times. Their first 2 trips have come away with field goals. It's now 2nd and goal.
Yeah, it's been the real key for Tennessee, is even though the Saints have gotten down to this part of the field, they have yet to yield a touchdown. Well, the guys you look for down here is, one, Jimmy Graham, and then secondly, Darren Sproles. Those are the 2 guys focused on most of the time.
Brees finds Sproles, who's down to the 4. That'll bring up 3rd down and goal. Witherspoon was there defending for the Titans. There's another long drive, but how will it end? In 7 or 3 points. This is play number 14. Jimmy Graham at the bottom. That's where Brees goes. What a catch. Now they say out of bounds. He made the catch, but he was out of bounds. And it's 4th down. Let's take another look.
Well, he gets his left foot down, and his left knee as well, Joe. And if that's the case, as he comes down, watch the left knee. His knee clearly is in. 1 knee equals 2 feet, according to John Madden. Now, the right toe did not look to me, Joe, to be on the line of scrimmage as he came down.
You mean on the boundary? I agree with you. There was some uncertainty if that right foot and the toes came down on the line. I don't think it did either. New Orleans challenges. I think they'll win this. This looked like a touchdown to me.
Looked like a touchdown to me, and actually pretty good coverage by Michael Griffin on this play.
It could very well be touchdown number 9 for Jimmy Graham, and the first of the day for the Saints. We'll get the call when we come back. We're going to get the call momentarily. I want Mike Pereira, our rules official, an expert, to go on record. What do you think, Mike? Quick.
Man, I'll tell you, I still say stands.
Stands.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass.
Wow.
New Orleans is charged with their first team timeout.
Well, you and I, Troy, thought that was a touchdown because the right foot did not come down out of bounds, but they didn't see enough to overturn the call.
Yeah, I watching this, Joe, I think that right toe, I think Jimmy Graham, from what I see, I think he kept it off the turf, and I think it was a touchdown, but I think it was all based on what the ruling initially was. Had this have been ruled a touchdown, I think they would have kept that. You see clearly the right toe's off the ground from that angle.
And Sean Payton can't believe it. I'm sure, first of all, they played it on the board here. I think he looked at it and thought it was a touchdown all the way.
Come here. We got it.
Instead, this stays a 1-score game, no matter what happens with Casey, who will try from 22.
They give Tennessee credit, you know. I mean, here the Saints have gotten down here 3 times. 3 times they've had to settle for field goals.
Yard try makes it a 9-3 game. Graham came oh so close. They ruled out of bounds. They reviewed it, said still out of bounds. Maybe there was some movement along that boundary. Munchak's pumped up. It's a 6-point game. For all of you Saints fans, or People who have Jimmy Graham on your fantasy team, we're going to allow you to sleep better tonight by showing you a replay and blowing it up. We should have known never to go against Pereira. He was right again. And here is a kick that takes a couple of bounces. Mariani picks it up. Crosses the 20, but not much more. Courtney Roby again on the tackle for the Saints. Watch this. Watch the grass come up as his toe goes down and you blow it up. And there's actually movement. I mean, it's like literally one blade of grass on that boundary that comes up. So the long cleats that we talked about coming in, the extra long cleats, this grass field, it was long enough to bring up one blade on the white boundary to make it a 3-point trip into the red zone instead of a 7-point trip. Down by 6. That one's tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Franklin got his hand up and got a piece of that throw from Jake Locker. And this game statistically has been dominated by the Saints, and yet they lead by 6.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to credit this Tennessee defense for the job that they've done, holding this explosive offense to just 9 points. And now, you know, it's really on this offense. And we thought that would be the case coming into this game, that they were going to have to score a lot of points. They've not been able to score any points outside of that field goal. They just have not gotten anything going offensively.
Locker keeps it, stays on his feet, was going to run it all the way, and has a first down. He had a blocker out in front of him who was never looking for the ball. That was Locker to carry it.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. It looked like that was going to be a quarterback keeper the entire way. Tracy Porter had an opportunity to make a play, and he's not able to. And Locker shows some of his ability in being able to pick up that first down. Earlier on this possession, on the second down play, we saw him audible at the line of scrimmage. That's something he's very comfortable in doing, and one of the things that has been impressive to this coaching staff.
It's only the Titans' 7th first down of the game, and this one gets away from the rookie. Jake Locker is a big-bodied quarterback, 6'3", 234. And he was good for a 12-yard run. You can get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call ** NFL to get NFL action right on your phone.
And we talked about Nate Washington and the surprise that he was able to come in and play after not having practiced all week. Watching him, a surprise to us, not a surprise to them. Looked like he might have re-aggravated that ankle on that last play.
Here is Locker. Johnson tried a one-handed catch and couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, they had a chance to make a play on that, and he ran into his own guy who was. Here's the play to Nate Washington that I was talking about at the end of this. It just looked like he came up limping a little bit.
Oh, maybe
he got kicked on that ankle at the very end. He came out of the game, was not in the game on the second down play. Obviously, he's back out onto the field now. They had a chance on that last play to Chris Johnson, but just didn't time up real well with the offensive lineman, and he got his vision distracted and unable to make that catch on the screen.
Nate Washington, the top third down receiver with regard to catches in the NFL. Here is a catch and move by Williams. Damian Williams down the sideline. Makes 2 moves and then gets hit right in the face, which is a penalty against the Saints. 54 yards to Damian Williams with yardage tacked on at the end.
Come on now. Let's go.
If you say they lack a big play guy with the injury to Kenny Britt, they just got the longest play of the season from Damian Williams.
No safety in the middle of the field. Locked up across the board. They bring pressure.
41.
The ball has to come out.
Automatic first down.
Patrick Robinson is in coverage. One-on-one, has to make the tackle. Williams makes him miss, and because there's no safety middle of the field, they called that zero blitz. He's then got a lot of room to run. There's the penalty on Harper to end that play. in the altercation that ensues.
Hey, Washington got in the middle of it. It's the second personal foul against Harper in this game. And it moves the ball to the 6.
Well, 0 for 5 on third downs. Tennessee was prior to that last third down play.
54 yards. And now Locker gets to the edge. Out of bounds near the 1. Oh, touchdown. They're going to call it a touchdown. And with the extra point to come, Tennessee can go on top. Let's take another look.
Yeah, I mean, as he's going out, that's just great awareness there by Jake Locker as he's going out of bounds and gets hit. He has the presence in mind to extend the ball, and it's got to cross the plane. Obviously, this will be reviewed. But it sure looked to me, Joe, like he was able to break the plane with the ball inside the pylon, which is what has to happen.
Boy, that was awfully close. It's a scoring play, so they'll give it a look no matter what.
We'll review the previous play.
And we're going to go into a complete review. He got knocked out. They're saying he crossed the plane. I have a feeling we may hear from Mike Pereira.
The field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Now they're going to confirm it and say touchdown.
Well, it just goes to show you, Joe. I mean, you hang in there, and you know, in a game like this, a low-scoring game, it just takes one play. That one play came on third down, the missed tackle by Patrick Robinson, the scramble by Jake Locker, and now you've got a tie ball game, potentially a one-point lead by the Titans.
First career rushing touchdown for the rookie Jake Locker. Here's Mike Pereira. Was that the right call in your mind, Mike?
Absolutely. The ball just has to get over the top or inside of the pylon, and they could confirm that.
They confirmed it without going into a full review. Touchdown Locker, 1-point lead, Titans. The rookie Jake Locker with his first career rushing touchdown. He was in the game because 11 minutes, 18 seconds in, Hasselbeck went down. Big completion on third down to Damian Williams, set it up. And Locker showed what he can do running the ball on 2 different carries during that drive. Veronis kicks it away as the Titans have a 1-point lead in a game they need. Here's Sproles, runs into his own guy. Can't make the 25. Got out to the 23, and a player is down for the Titans. Here's the injury, 11:18 left in the second quarter. A pulled calf for Hasselbeck. They've been working on that since, and it led to Locker's opportunity, and he made the most out of it, getting that touchdown.
You know, when we first had the injury to Matt Hasselbeck, as we see him congratulate Jake Locker on that drive, I really thought that we would see Hasselbeck come back into the game. Having had a calf injury myself, though, that's not an easy one to come back from, depending on the severity of the injury. But Jake Locker, a guy who doesn't get a lot of snaps during the week in practice with this first-team offense. He's gotten some playing time, as you said, Joe, earlier in the season. It was a nice drive on his part.
Now Brees is trailing for the first time, hits more. They threw a flag on that kickoff. Remember the kicking team being offside at the kick, so they tacked on 5 yards at the end of the kick return. And the drive starts at the 28. 7-yard completion to Lance Moore to bring up 2nd and 3.
Drew Brees is probably just scratching his head at the idea that they've only scored 9 points. You know, with some of the things that they've been able to do offensively, and not to come away with more.
Here's Pierre Thomas. And Pierre is knocked down right at the marker. If you look at this game from Tennessee's side, it's easy. They're 7-5. They need a win here at home over the Saints. If you look at it, we're going to have a measurement from the Saints side. They're close to wrapping up their division, but they still have thoughts about a number 2 seed as they chase the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers have a home game against Pittsburgh, otherwise 3 games against the NFC West. And this is inches short. I mean, 1 link on that chain short of a first down. And an opportunity here, Troy, for the Saints and Drew Brees to prove they can win a tight game on the road, on the grass, in chilly weather.
Yeah, a lot of discussion coming into this game about how they're not the same team on the road, especially outdoors. And I think they had hoped to be able to put a lot of that behind them. Certainly they can with a win, but
Brees keeps it and gets it.
Offensively anyway, not coming away with more points in this game than they have. But as I said to Drew Brees yesterday when we had a chance to visit with him, you know, you tend to take a lot of things for granted if you're a Saints fan or even if you're within this organization. One, with Drew Brees' performances week in and week out, and then the way that this offense is able to score points.
Brees has gone 39 straight games with a touchdown pass. Second longest streak ever to Johnny Unitas. This one is fought for and wrestled away. It looked like for a moment by Henderson, but there is a battle for the football as both came down at the same time with it. Verner and Henderson.
Yeah, it looked to me like a simultaneous catch, and if that's the case, then Henderson keeps the ball. But once it went to the ground, you know, then they're trying to rip it. Verner trying to rip it out of his hands. You see, they both have it, and then there's a scrum.
Simultaneous catch goes to the offense. I've already said it stays with New Orleans as we go to the 4th in Nashville. We start the 4th quarter here in Tennessee. It's been 39 straight with a touchdown pass for Drew Brees. All-time record Johnny Unitas with 47 back in the late 50s. Here's Gilmore, the tight end, and he takes it to the 40. Well, this New Orleans team has won 4 straight. They clinch a division today with a win and an Atlanta loss. Wild card chase right now is wide open, with the Giants playing a big one tonight at Dallas. Dallas with a 1-game lead in the NFC East. Pierre Thomas has a first down.
We heard Jimmy Johnson earlier today say that he thinks that whoever does not win the NFC East won't make the playoffs. I think it's going to be a tight race, but as you said, that's a huge game tonight within that division with the Cowboys and Giants.
Dallas at 7-5, the Giants at 6-6. And they've lost 4 straight. Late handoff to Sproles. Brought down immediately. And the play made by Ball.
Well, Dave Ball is one of those guys that I know Jerry Gray, when I said, hey, who's the one guy you want to see on the field? Here he is right here. He's going to, I'm sorry, he came from the other side, but Dave Ball is the guy who Jerry Gray says we want to see on the field in all situations.
He's had an impact in this game. It's 2nd down and 12. 4-man rush. Brees steps up, hits Graham, who takes it to the 35. Bring up 3rd down and 6. It's Jimmy Graham. You talk about guys who play this game above the field. Graham can go up and get it like Calvin Johnson can with the Lions. Tough to defend. It's 3rd down and 6. Would be a 53-yard field goal from this spot. Brees down the middle, wide open. Colston for the touchdown. Somebody forgot about number 12, and the Saints back on top. And that's 40 straight for Drew Brees with a touchdown pass.
Well, you see the safeties here. They're in too deep coverage, and so that's the vulnerability of the coverage is down the middle. Now, with that kind of time in the pocket, that puts a lot of stress on the defensive backs to be able to hold up. And Marcus Colston, he just meanders down the middle of the field, and Brees finds him.
The guy who broke his collarbone in the opener in the final minute at Green Bay has his 4th touchdown. Left alone, 35 yards, and just like that, the Saints back on top.
Today's game is sponsored by Nissan. Innovation for today, innovation for tomorrow, innovation for all. By Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. And by Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint.
So Drew Brees is now 7 from a tie with Johnny Unitas. Got the 2nd longest streak all time. 40 now, 40 straight games with a touchdown pass for the great Drew Brees. And there is touchback number 50. We go back to Marcus Colston, who was behind the defense.
Yeah, no, he's going to go to the middle of the field, and like I said, it was all set up. If you're able to get pressure then on Drew Brees in the pocket, then he's not able to just sit there and survey the field and find Colston going down the middle, but they just were unable to do that. So they end up turning Colston loose. He makes a nice catch on the back end of the play and then gets the ball into the end zone for the touchdown.
There's his day as the Titans with Jake Locker started at 20. Chris Johnson has not gotten on a roll today. His fans here were frustrated after that holdout signed right before the beginning of the regular season. 4-year, $53.5 million deal, and he was held to an average of under 51 yards per game into the Tampa Bay game 3 weeks ago. 3 of the last 4 games he's been hot. Back-to-back good ones, but just about nothing today against New Orleans.
3 of those 4 games, yeah, against teams that just were not good against the run. And the Saints, for the most part this year, they haven't been good, but they've been outstanding this afternoon.
Only 9 carries, 20 yards for Johnson, and Locker is sacked. Back at the 11. Will Smith is taking bows, and Martez Wilson was there for the Saints.
Just tight man coverage. You see they're trying to run that natural picking action, the Tennessee Titans are, but just no separation. That's where Locker was looking, to his left side, and then when the collision happened, he didn't have anywhere to go with the ball. Tries to make something happen, but Will Smith there to make a play.
Loss of 9, and that's the first New Orleans sack of the day. 3rd down and 19. Locker throws it flat-footed out of the reach of Roman Harper. Nate Washington the closest to it, and Will Smith ended up with his arms around the legs of Jake Locker.
Well, it's just, 3rd and that kind of yardage to pick up for a first down. Good luck. And you've got so many different looks then that you're going to get from New Orleans. That's just hard on a rookie quarterback. He had a little bit of time in the pocket, but just not much there.
Kern will punt it. Here's a chance for Darren Sproles. See how good the punt is. The 4th-year player out of Toledo. Sproles with a bobble, and he hangs on. Takes it into Titan territory. 5-yard return after a 43-yard punt. Saints up by 6 with the football. Best starting field position for the Saints, who have won 4 straight. During that streak, they've turned the ball over offensively only once. Trying to go their 4th straight game without a turnover. On 1st down, Brees finds the fullback, Jed Collins, but a flag is thrown. And And it's offensive pass interference.
Pass interference. Offense number 45, a push-off. 10-yard penalty is still first down.
They get Jed Collins, who caught the pass from Drew Brees. Here are the numbers for Brees, and he is still on that pace to break the Marino record, down a bit today to this point. But he has thrown for a total of 282 yards, and that makes you giggle because that's what you talk about. People just expect him to go 300 yards like it's no big deal.
Can you imagine breaking Marino's record, which has stood for 27 years, and not be the league MVP?
3 guys have a shot at it. Leading that MVP race as Sproles makes the catch is obviously Aaron Rodgers. Let's go for a game break. Here's Kurt.
Falcons were down 23-7 at halftime in Carolina, but they put up 17 unanswered. Matt Ryan to Julio Jones for a 17-yard score, and Atlanta has now taken the lead in the fourth quarter. The game they need to win to keep playoff hopes alive. 24-23 right now. Joe Troy and Pam.
All right, Kurt, thanks. So Atlanta, the winners of the division last year, 2 games behind New Orleans in that wild card chase. And leading against Carolina now. Underneath, passes caught by Thomas on 2nd and 8. He picked up 4. McCarthy, the rookie middle linebacker who was playing for the injured Barrett Ruud. 4th consecutive start for McCarthy, made the tackle.
Well, now we'll see what Tennessee's able to do here on 3rd down. New Orleans, as I said, came into the game best in football on this down. They've been outstanding again today, but if they pick up a 1st down here, in all likelihood, they will come away with points on this drive. So a big down here for Tennessee.
Saints are 9 of 15 on 3rd down. 3rd down and 4, and the pass is caught by Henderson for a 1st down.
It's the out route by Devery Henderson, and Drew Brees gets it out there, and Henderson goes down and makes the play on it in a 1st down. And so, here they are with 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line. A chance for Tennessee to have gotten off the field had they been able to make a stop.
Saints with a chance to make it a 2-possession game as they pounded inside the 35. Pierre Thomas good for 6. Michael Griffin, the safety, on the tackle.
That's, to me, what's been so impressive about this Saints offense throughout the year is Drew Brees is still accumulating a lot of yardage throwing the ball, as we've said, but this team runs the ball much better than they did a year ago. Not a very good running team last season. This year they're a top 10 running team, and yet they still have the explosiveness of the passing game.
Small chunks down the field. He's over 300 for the day. Broken play, and Brees fakes a throw and is going to come up just short of a 1st down. And that play wasn't right from the beginning.
No, there was a confusion there on exactly how that play was going to be run with Darren Sproles and then Drew Brees, and couldn't tell if Brees thought it was going to be a handoff, but clearly confusion, and yet he's still able to get pretty good yardage out of the play with no blockers.
3rd down and less than a yard.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for your concern. Hand off to Ivory. And Chris Ivory's got the 1st down by a yard. And with 7.5 to go, Ivory, who's been a healthy and active for 3 straight games, and they have a lot of weapons back there at running back, and really a difference from a year ago for the Saints. Their ground game at times can be just as devastating as what they can do through the air. Well, that might be an overstatement, but they can run the ball.
I'll go with it.
Yeah. Okay. Brees steps up, looking for Colston. He's got him again. What a perfect throw from Drew Brees to Marcus Colston for his 2nd of the day.
You see the protection. You know, you got good protection up front, and then they get Colston. You see they stack him there on the left side. They got Finnegan. It looked like Finnegan had a chance to maybe make a play on that, but because of the way that the receivers were running that combination route, they got Finnegan pulled away, and then Brees was able to hit Colston in the seam.
Going for 2 to make it a 14-point game. They hand off. Pierre Thomas does not get it. And so it stays a 12-point game. But they try the 2-point conversion now after it is a 2-possession game in Nashville. Colston's got 2. Saints up by 12.
Today's game is sponsored by UPS. Let UPS put the power logistics to work for you.
Marcus Colston has his 3rd 100-yard game of the season. 19th of his career. His 10th multi-touchdown game of his career, and it's been 13 unanswered points after the Titans went up by 1. It's a 12-point game, and Mariani on the return. Nice return out to the 35. And we take a look into the eyes of Drew Brees, who delivered it perfectly into the hands of Marcus Colston. Saints at 9-3, up by 12. The veteran on the left, the rookie on the right. And it's up to number 10, Jake Locker, to try and resuscitate the Titans here, now down by 12. The record of 7-5. Split Chris Johnson out wide to the left, and the pass is caught by Damian Williams for 8.
Well, if they're going to do it, the Tennessee Titans, that is, it's going to have to start right here with just over 6 minutes to play and down 2 scores. They've got to come away with a touchdown on this drive.
Locker pulls it down and will run. Slide near the 40 with a first down. And a pickup of 17 yards.
Well, you see right here, the linebackers, they're going to go try to get underneath the routes, and so because they're turning and running, you can see how much field then Locker had in order to pick up that yardage.
Longest run of his brief NFL career on 1st and 10. He's going to go for it all. Washington. How about that for a quick strike? Touchdown.
Really nice read by Jake Locker, knowing exactly what he had based on coverage, based on safety position. He's going to work here, so now you got the seam on that side of the ball. As soon as safety works opposite, you know that you've got a chance if the receiver can win on the route. He does. Nice throw by Locker, and what a nice job by Tennessee responding to the touchdown by the Saints and matching it on the very next possession.
Injured his ankle last weekend. He was out during the week, did not practice on Friday. And Nate Washington, who's having a career year, with a 40-yard touchdown catch. And the Titans just went 65 yards in 63 seconds to make it a 5-point game.
Well, that's a good job on their part. Like I said, I mean, down as much as they're down, you have to make something happen. And, you know, Jake Locker shows great poise in the pocket and delivers a nice throw right here. And that's good work, too, by Nate Washington. You talked about him, Joe, and you know, obviously banged up coming into this game, but great concentration at the end of that play to make the catch with contact made and score the touchdown. You know, in talking with Mike Munchak the other day, we were asking about Jake Locker, and you know, he's the guy that Munchak wanted. You know, of the quarterbacks that came out in this draft, he said we like the way he competed and we like the poise that he has shown. In fact, he said in a lot of ways Jake Locker acts like more of the veteran quarterback than Matt Hasselbeck does, that he just kind of rolls with things, doesn't get too uptight, is very calm, and that'll serve him well as a quarterback in the NFL, if you can maintain an even keel throughout a season, throughout a game, even as we've seen here today, that's a positive quality to have.
Now the Saints are just preparing for an onside kick, but at this point, there's 6 minutes to play. Time is not really a factor, especially Tennessee with their timeouts. But they are up to guard against it with Sproles the only deep man at the 20.
Yeah, there's no way Tennessee kicks an onside kick here. I'm surprised that there's any consideration by the Saints that that might happen. Drew Brees is hard enough to stop when he has to go 80 yards, let alone 50.
And it's Baronis to kick it away. A lot of fans headed for the exits after that last touchdown. This one is boomed into the back of the end zone. Sproles will take a knee. And the Saints will start up 5 at their own 20. This February, NASCAR's best will converge on the Daytona International Speedway for NASCAR's biggest race. Defending Sprint Cup Series champion Tony Stewart. What an end to their season. Rookie Danica Patrick highlight a full field driver looking to take home auto racing's ultimate prize. Fox Sports brings you the Great American Race, 54th running of the Daytona 500, February 26th. And our good buddy Darrell Waltrip and crew will be there calling it.
Yeah, in fact, Darrell Waltrip lives right here in Nashville. I wouldn't be surprised if he's somewhere at this game watching it.
Crowd climbs back in it. Lance Moore makes the catch and hops out of bounds after a gain of 6.
Now this defense has done a pretty good job overall, all things considered, in this game. And now it's going to come down to Jerry Gray and this group once again as to whether or not they can make a key stop against this offense that has started to get things going here the last few times they've had the ball.
Mentioned the 4-game winning streak for the Saints have averaged 33 points a game during the streak. Only 22 today. Room for Brees, rolling right and throwing to Henderson. Now incomplete. It hit the ground. Incomplete pass. 3rd down coming up. And Peyton's thinking about throwing a challenge flag as we get another look at it.
Yeah, I agree with that call right there. You know, you saw the tip of the ball before he really had possession of it hit the turf. Sean put the red flag back in the back pocket.
I think he's telling somebody trying his headset to relax. We're going to take a timeout and look at that again. So they're going to take their time to see if they want to throw the challenge flag. As you look at that play and catch, or non-catch as it was called by Henderson. So they're just buying time to get another look. New Orleans with only 1 timeout remaining. And it's 3rd down. And no challenge.
Well, I think that's smart. I mean, I think you could argue both sides of it, you know, but without his hand being underneath the ball, and then with the call that was made on the field, I don't think that's a challenge that he would have won, and he doesn't think so either, so he doesn't challenge it.
3rd down and 4, big one with 5:23 left. Brees is sacked by the rookie Klug.
Well, Klug, he just wins immediately up the middle. And so they try to go with a bunch set to Brees' right. He doesn't see that Klug gets pressure immediately in his face, and he's able to make a key play on 3rd down to give the ball back to their offense.
Mariani waits for the punt. Good punt. From the 26. Mariani survives 1 hit, cannot survive the next. Roby again. And now, in his biggest moment, Jake Locker will trot out to the field coming off that quick strike, down by 5. And this will be fun to see how Jake Locker does against the Saints in this position.
Yeah, it sure will. You know, I mean, on that last possession, they needed to go down the field and score a touchdown, and just a few plays later, and he's able to do that with a perfectly thrown ball there to Nate Washington. And now with being a 5-point game, you know, they have certainly put the pressure back on this Saints team, but a nice job defensively getting off the field on 3rd down against a group that had had a lot of success on that down throughout this game.
Locker ducks out of trouble, and he'll pull it down and turn it into a small positive play. As he gets to Jolon Dunbar is there to force him out. 2nd down with under 4.5 to go. Matt Hasselbeck wondering if the play of Locker will be enough to get a win and get this Titans team to 8-5 and still very much alive in the AFC playoff race. Locker has actually outrushed Chris Johnson in this game. Pass caught by Washington. Out of bounds at the Saints 45, 1st down.
Well, New Orleans is playing what looks to be a lot like a prevent defense and not wanting to give anything up down the field. And Jake Locker, a lot of times a young quarterback in this situation will start forcing some throws up the field, but he hasn't done that. He's shown great restraint in not forcing balls coming underneath to Nate Washington on that last play to pick up the 1st down.
4:21 left. Saints, by the way, should they fall behind, have only 1 timeout remaining. This one is batted down. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Jolon Dunbar got his hand on it. Knocked it up into the air and down for the incompletion.
You know, it's interesting when you're talking about how do you play a young quarterback. You know, sometimes if you rush 3 guys, drop 8 into coverage, make him really see the field and understand what it is that he is seeing, as opposed to when you bring pressure, then as a young quarterback, you know, okay, one-on-one, and you don't have to do as much thinking in those situations. So Greg Williams trying to weigh, how are we going to attack this guy?
Extra men on the rush. Pass incomplete for Damian Williams. Coverage by Patrick Robinson, last year's #1 pick out of Florida State.
Well, pretty physical at the line of scrimmage. He gets his hand, Robinson does, on Williams, and, you know, completely disrupts the timing of that pass.
Titans have 2 downs to get 10 yards. You'd have to believe the ball at the 45-yard line. It's 3rd down and 10. Locker completes. Washington doing all he can, but the tackle wraps him up short of a 1st down.
New Orleans just kind of gave that one to Tennessee. They just said, okay, it's 3rd and long, and, you know, they were playing more of the deeper routes, and so they got the completion very easily. And at 4th and inches, this is a no-brainer. Surely you're going for it.
These guys are 9 for 11. The Titans are offensively on 4th down. Get Chris Johnson in at tailback. And they toss it to him. Needing his speed to get there, and he's got it. First down, Tennessee, after Johnson got around Patrick Robinson.
They pack it inside, and you know that that's what New Orleans is expecting. And then Robinson here is the guy who he's got to beat, because he's got the angle. If he's able to make a tackle there, he holds him short of the 1st down. But that's asking a lot to try to get Chris Johnson to the ground with that kind of angle.
1st down with Jake Locker at the controls. That's Jamie Harper in motion. Pressure. Big hit. And that pass is out, incomplete. Tracy Porter delivered the hit. This is interesting. The referee, Troy, was going to say that ball was out, but it was the two officials downfield that were signaling that the ball was tipped and ruling it incomplete. But Carey was letting this play go, and now they're going to get into a discussion. I think Carey's initial call was this ball was out and was therefore a fumble.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by New Orleans, declared dead at the spot of the recovery. First down.
Yeah, I think this. It looks to me, Joe, like this is a. Let's see here. Get a closer look at it. It looked to me like it was going to be an incomplete pass. His arms going forward, his hands going forward. You know, the hit had something to do with that. But as long as the hand is going forward, which to me it is, I think that's an incomplete pass and is coming back. But clearly, Jake Locker never sees Tracy Porter coming on the blitz.
And the hit by Porter has Locker down, and he's getting looked at by the trainer. Their other quarterback is Rusty Smith. He's not active, so if they keep the ball, which we expect them to do, Matt Hasselbeck is getting ready to come back into the game.
Well, and you can see they're trying to stretch that calf out now as quickly as they can. He's been on the sidelines standing and walking around. They're trying to stretch it out, get him loose and get him out there ready to go.
And Locker is really dazed after that hit. We'll bring in Mike Pereira. Mike, did you see what we saw, that there was enough of the arm going forward to keep this ball with Tennessee?
You know, I got to tell you, Joe, it seems to me, which I've been watching all day today and last week, they're staying with the ruling on the field. And is that ball beginning to come loose just when that contact is made there? Is it starting to roll out of his hands there before the hand starts forward? You know, I thought last week, same type of play. Watch the ball there. Is it starting to come loose in his hand? I don't know. To me, this is a pass. I agree with you that this is a pass. Will they reverse it? I think they should, because
this
to me, he has
Brady.
enough control.
This is Tom Brady in the snow. This is that.
Well,
this is that tuck. This is exactly the textbook call that they would make. But I mean, it's not that clear cut, but it certainly looks like the arm is going forward.
Yeah, and again, the tucking motion is when you bring it back towards your body. Just the question here is hand, and you're only talking about the hand, with total control of the ball, and has it started to move forward with total control? Forget the contact by the defender there. Doesn't hit his arm. To me, like you say, this to me should be an incomplete forward pass. Recognizing, though, they did call it on the field as a fumble.
Yeah, they did, and it was Mike Carey who was letting that play go. Now you see the umpire there saying it's an incomplete pass, but Carey let that play go, and we thank Mike Pereira for jumping in. It's a Tennessee challenge. That means that Locker can come back into the ball game. He looks to be okay. Let's get the call from Mike Carey.
After review, it was a forward pass, incomplete. It'll be second down and 10 on the 33-yard line. New Orleans has marked. Please put 3:20 on the game clock. 3:20 on the game clock, please.
Locker looks to be okay on the sideline, but Hasselbeck is out there in the huddle.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing that Jake Locker is going to be okay. It appears to come back into this game. We saw them working on Matt Hasselbeck trying to get that calf loose. I did not see him throw a pass to warm his arm up prior to coming out onto the field, and you wonder how loose then he is to throw the ball.
It's second down and 10. Locker is up and watching Hasselbeck, who left with just over 11 minutes left in the first half. He swings it to Chris Johnson. What a hit by Jenkins, and there wasn't anybody else over there for the Saints. Jenkins saved a big play, a gain of 9.
Boy, you're not kidding, because you're talking about one of the elite players in all of football out in open space. And Jenkins is able to come up one-on-one right here. Are you kidding me? How many guys are going to be able to make that play when Chris Johnson has a two-way break on a receiver or on a defender?
Hasselbeck on the sideline. Jake Locker back in. 2:45 to go and counting. 3rd down and 1. A short one. This one floated. Williams incomplete. And instead of trying to pick up the first down on 3rd and inches, now this comeback hinges on a 4th and inches play.
Yeah, I don't like the call. I don't like the call here on 3rd and short. You know, he had him beat and he's got a chance, but you got to pick up this first down. And it goes back to the tackle then that Malcolm Jenkins was able to make, and Chris Johnson not getting the first down. Now, you know, here we are at 4th and 1. Instead, you know, with plenty of time on the clock, 3rd and 1, the most important thing was getting the first down first. You had 2 chances to do that.
They've already converted 1 4th down on this drive. Timeout Tennessee, and why not? They've got 3 plus the 2-minute warning with 2.5 to go, but this whole thing rides on a 4th and inches after the timeout. How about the day for Jake Locker? He's shown what he can do with his legs and with his arms. Completing passes, his first NFL rushing touchdown, then threw a beauty to Nate Washington to make this a 5-point game.
His most extensive playing time a few weeks back against Atlanta when he came in. He did a nice job then as well. It's been impressive what he's been able to do. Again, coming off the bench, didn't enter this game anticipating that he'd be playing, and yet he's been able to rally a comeback. But you're right, Joe. I mean, it comes down now to what they do here on 4th and 1.
Locker keeps it and fights his way forward, looks to have enough. At least by the head linesman on this side. They're going to give it to the man on the far side. Well, it's going to be an interesting spot. The 2 officials came in different spots. And we're going to have a measurement.
It's going to be tight, as you can tell.
Wow. I mean, that is right there. The head linesman came in from this side and gave him another 4 or 5 inches. New Orleans takes over, and you can go back to that 3rd down call. 3rd and inches, not getting the first down. It came down to a 4th down, and the Saints make the stop.
Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. And you're on 3rd down, and you can look at it and say, okay, we can run the ball to pick up the necessary yardage to get the first down. Instead, they go for the home run. Had a chance. But even with this at 4th down, you know, you've got to be able to pick that up. The Saints do a great job defensively, you know, for a defense throughout this game. Now, granted, they're without the starting quarterback. The Titans are not an explosive offensive group, but Greg Williams and that defense has given up over 460 yards in each of the last 3 games. They were challenged in this game to contain Chris Johnson. They've done that. They made a beautiful 4th down stop on that last play.
Now time to run it. 2 timeouts left for Tennessee, and Ivory will pick up a first down as we approach the 2-minute warning here in Nashville. Greg Williams is tired of hearing about how poor his defense is. They make a big stop on 4th and inches, take over, and may very well be headed to win number 10. You see what the Saints have in front of them. They're on their way to an NFC South divisional title. They clinch a berth with a win and a Detroit or Chicago loss. They clinched the division with a win and an Atlanta loss. Last check, Atlanta is up by a point over Carolina. Detroit is up as well. Chicago plays in moments out in Denver. 2 minutes left on first down. It's Ivory to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And Tennessee will spend one of their 2 remaining timeouts. Let's go back and look at that last possession, and first the catch and run by Chris Johnson.
Yeah, we're going to see Chris Johnson. How much field is there? Instead, he's going to think about making a double move, but a break on Malcolm Jenkins. Great tackle by Malcolm Jenkins, but it looked to me like Chris Johnson, had he have just been determined to get the first down, he could have picked it up on that swing pass. Instead, here's the 4th down play. No movement in the line of scrimmage. Great job by the big guys in the middle for the Saints, and a key stop. But credit Malcolm Jenkins for making that stop on 2nd down to keep them from picking up the first down at that time and stalling this drive.
It eventually ended on downs on that 4th down sneak by Locker. Now 2nd and 10. Ivory again. 1 timeout left, and the Titans will take it right now. It'll be 3rd down, and the Titans will get the ball back if the Saints don't get a first down. We look ahead to next week, and it starts with the Built Ford Tough NFL Sunday pregame show beginning at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And they're the games: Redskins, Giants, Packers, and Chiefs. Saints at the Vikings, and we look at the rest of their schedule. They're hoping to go to 10-3 here today, win their 5th straight. They're at Minnesota, and then at home in the division against Atlanta and Carolina. They've already defeated Atlanta once, and they have a 2-game lead at the start of the day over the Falcons in the NFC South. It's 3rd down and 7 here. There will be time on the clock if the Titans can get a stop. They are out of timeouts. They need to get it and get it into the end zone. Brees. Why not put it in his hands? That was nearly picked off by Casey. What a dangerous throw, and that stops the clock with 1:44 remaining.
Well, you ain't kidding, Joe. I mean, 3rd down, most coaches would run the ball here and make them, or run the clock down if they aren't able to pick up the first down. There's so much confidence in Drew Brees that he's not going to make a mistake, yet that's exactly what he almost did with Jarrell Casey, the rookie, coming out in coverage and had a golden opportunity to get an interception on that play.
And the incompletion costs the Saints, what, about 40 seconds on the clock as Morstead hits it. There's already a flag down. Mariani on the return out to the 20, but there are 2 flags down. 3 flags down. Drew Brees came awfully close to throwing a deadly interception on that 3rd down pass. So there are 3 separate flags down on the field. Here's Mike Carey, who has been busy.
"12 men on the defense has declined. First down."
Let's go back to that play by Jarrell Casey.
You're going to see Jarrell Casey, 99. And as he comes out, he started on the left side of the defense, and then he comes out and he has a chance to undercut that throw. And even when he tipped it up, I thought he was going to be able to come back and make a play. It's asking a lot of a defensive lineman, but a nice job on his part. You're right, Joe. Valuable seconds they were able to preserve by the Saints deciding to throw it.
So now it's not unrealistic as the catch is made by Hawkins. 25 yards, and what a start to this drive. Clock continues to wind. Pass caught by Washington, and he lays down right at the 45. Well, if Greg Williams is tired of hearing about his defense and their struggles, here's another opportunity. They give Washington a first down.
And Jake Locker, he knows this no huddle and can operate it just like Hasselbeck.
How about a handoff with a minute to go and no timeouts?
I don't get that one either.
And now all of this time being wasted.
Hey, Lester. Mike 51, check on.
They need a big strike. Down the middle, Washington. They got a big strike to the 5.
Well, they'll come up and clock it now, and they'll have a couple shots to score once they get this clock stopped.
7 seconds left, and Washington ends up on the ground. We'd like to welcome those of you just joining us. They helped Nate Washington off the field. He just made this big play of 40 yards down to the 5-yard line. This game has been crazy. It looked like New Orleans had it in hand with a rookie quarterback, Jake Locker. A near interception thrown by Brees the last time they had it. Now a chance to win it.
They want to get it out of his hand quick, so they'll have 2 shots. Expect a fade.
Quick throw, broken up. Nice play by Tracy Porter. Mariani was the intended receiver. That play took 2 seconds.
Yeah, good idea there with the play call. They don't throw the fade, they come back to the quick slant, but because it's a ball coming out of his hands quick, you anticipate that, so there is a chance then for another snap. Now with 5 seconds left, you've got to anticipate that this is going to be the last play of the game, and if you're Locker, then you can take some time on this.
It is 3rd down. Locker. This will be it. Down he goes. No flags, and the Saints win the game as Jolon Dunbar made the play.
Well, we talked about whether you bring pressure or whether you play coverage, and you see that the Saints, they show that they're going to bring the blitz. Instead, they go with a 3-man rush and drop 8 guys. They make the rookie find an open receiver, and there's nobody open. And so once he flushes, it becomes a scramble drill, and they're able to get to him before he gets it out. A shame for Tennessee that Locker's not at least able to get the ball out of his hands to give somebody a last-minute chance. But give the Saints defense credit, making a stop when they had to with the game on the line.
The final ends up 22-17. The Saints were tested here on the road, outside on the grass. Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints go to 10-3. The Titans now 7-6. With a big loss here at home to Sean Payton and the Saints.